Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. First and foremost, our praises to Abanawi Yahweh Ba'Shem, Mashiach Yahushua, Shabbat from my Gabar, the true Hebrews under God, aka Thug Camp, to my left. So once again, it's another Shabbat. Hope y'all having a blessed Sabbath, man, keeping it holy. We're going to go into Exodus chapter 4, Exodus chapter 5, and Exodus chapter 6. Today, the team going over the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. So read that Exodus chapter 4, verse 1.
And Moses answered and said, But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice. For they will say, Yahweh hath not appeared unto thee.
So remind you, we just covered Exodus 1, 2, and 3. Chapter 3, dealing with the Most High, allowing Moses to know his name. He said Yahweh is his name. Continue. So he's like, Moses like, they ain't gonna believe me. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto him, What is that in thine hand? And he said, A rod. And he said, Cast it on the ground. And he cast it on the ground. And it became a serpent. And Moses fled from before it.
Go ahead. So he's showing that power that the Most High has. You can make that staff, that rod, which is a staff, into a serpent. Go ahead, snake. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, Put forth thine hand and take it by the tail. And he put forth his hand and caught it. And it became a rod in his hand.
Go ahead.
That they may believe that Yahweh, God of their fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, have appeared unto thee.
Go ahead, verse 6.
And Yahweh said furthermore unto him, Put now thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom. And when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow.
So that shows, like, I don't know how they can do that in the movies. How they can have a white man playing Moses and he putting his hand in his bosom. Yeah. I don't know if they show that in the movies. They missed that part. Like, hell, we can't deceive him with that because it's going to come out the same color. Go ahead.
And he said, Put thine hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand in his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh.
Meaning it came back to that next, that brown skin, that brown complexion. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign.
So give me Numbers chapter 12 about Miriam, real quick. Because this proves that the people in the Bible was people of color. Because they became leprous. So obviously if they became leprous, white as snow, obviously there was a different complexion. And there's only two different type of complexions, really. You got red, different shades of red, different shades of brown. So let's see what happened with Miriam. We can read the whole chapter, Numbers chapter 12.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Hath Yahweh indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And Yahweh heard it.
Because it's a law about, if you take another nation as a wife, you're supposed to, shave her head, clip her nails, so forth and so on. Go ahead. Now
the man Moses was very meek above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And Yahweh spake suddenly unto Moses, and unto Aaron, and unto Miriam, Come out ye three unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And the three came out. And Yahweh came down in the pillar of the cloud, and stood in the door of the tabernacle, and called Aaron and Miriam. And they both came forth. And he said, Hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahweh, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream.
Go ahead.
My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of Yahweh shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
So he's like, I talked to Moses face to face. Go ahead.
And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against them, and he departed.
Go ahead.
And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
So just like how Moses put his hand in his bosom, came out, and became leprous, white as snow, the same with Miriam. Go ahead.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous.
So this is like a curse. Like this is back then, Israel, like nowadays, this happened to a Israelite, our people, should I say, so-called black and Spanish American, our brothers in the West Indies, they'll love it. Because a lot of our people, you know, Jamaica and the islands, different places, they bleaching their skin. So they'll love it. Oh, I turned white. Thank you, God. Thank you. But back then, it was a disgrace. Like, damn, look at this person. This person look odd as hell. That looks strange. But now, our people bleaching their skin, and that goes heavy on in Jamaica, man. Go ahead.
And Aaron said unto Moses, Alas, O Lord, I beseech thee, let not the sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned.
Go ahead.
Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed, when he cometh out of his mother's womb.
So that was like you close to death. You look like a dead man. That's why when you watch those movies, they show like the zombies. They show them looking what, pale face. They dead. That's why Moses like. Aaron's like, man, that look like one dead. You know what I mean? You don't have no melanin, no nothing. That's a curse. Go ahead.
And Moses cried unto Yahweh, saying, Heal her now, O God, I beseech thee.
Go ahead. So he said, heal her. So that's a sickness. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, If her father had spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in again.
Go ahead.
And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again.
Go ahead.
And afterward the people were moved from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran.
So go back to Exodus. So she was supposed to be unclean for 7 days. When you have that, that curse of leprosy, that plague of leprosy. So go back to Exodus chapter 4 and read verse 8.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe thee, neither hearken to the voice of the first sign, that they will believe the voice of the latter sign.
So you see, so the Most High is giving them signs, right? Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass, if they will not believe also these 2 signs, neither hearken unto thy voice, that thou shalt take of the water of the river and pour it upon the dry land. And the water which thou takest out of the river shall become blood upon the dry land.
So hold that, give me Mark chapter 8. So remind you, the Lord is giving us signs. He gave our forefathers signs. So let's see, go to Mark chapter 8. Start at verse 10. So Mark chapter 8. So brothers get it. Mark chapter 8, verse 10 through 12.
And straightway he entered into the ship with his disciples, and came into the part of Dalmanutha.
Go ahead.
And the Pharisees came forth, and began to question with him, seeking of him a sign from heaven, tempting him.
So the Pharisees, being wicked, they was seeking a sign. Like, show us a sign. You doing all these miracles I hear about. Let me see it. What did Yahweh say? Go ahead.
And he sighed deeply in his spirit, and said, Why doth this generation seek after a sign?
Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, there shall no sign be given unto this generation.
So he told them, like, ain't no sign gonna be given to this generation. So our people actually want the Lord to come down and talk to them face to face in order for them to wake up. No, they require a sign. And that's how the Lord get our people. That's why you gotta have faith. You know what I mean? Faith is a substance. Matter of fact, get that. Hebrews 11. Get that real quick. Hebrews 11 and 1. You gotta have faith now. You can't, the Lord ain't gonna come, the angels ain't gonna come and sit down and talk to you, face to face like that. Yeah. They might do that to like brothers or sisters that's really already in the faith or something and comfort that person, but they ain't gonna go do it to somebody, because that person want a sign. And that's why people, they need something to benefit them. I'm gonna get rich off this, I'm gonna make some money, which I got to offer. You're gonna get your spirit right, you're gonna get cleansed through the Holy Spirit. But our people don't want that. Our people want now type of thing. They want the kingdom now. So get Hebrews 11 and 1.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
So you see that? We don't see things. We can't see the Most High, but we believe we have faith in Him. So just because we ain't seen all these, the Lord is not The same signs that he gave us back then of the angels coming and dealing with us, he's not giving us, but he's giving us other signs like earthquakes, pestilence, wars and rumors of wars. You see what I'm saying? All these race wars about to pop off. That's earthquakes. Those are them are signs of the end. So go back to Exodus chapter 4. Oh, matter of fact, give me John chapter 4. It's like it. John chapter 4. John chapter 4, verse 43. John chapter 4, verse 43 to 48.
Now after 2 days he departed thence and went into Galilee. For Yahushua himself testified that a prophet had no honor in his own country.
So it means among his own people, because he was where he was raised at. People looking like, who the hell you talking about? You the son of God? Hey, I raised you. I helped raise you. I remember when you used to do this or do that. Go ahead. Exactly.
Then when he was come into Galilee, the Galileans received him.
So he received him, right? Go ahead.
Having seen all the things that he did at Jerusalem at the feast, for they also went unto the feast. So Yahushua came again into Cana of Galilee, where he made the water wine.
So that's what he did, one of his first miracles. Go ahead.
And there was a certain nobleman whose son was sick at Capernaum. When he heard that Yahushua came out of Judea into Galilee, he went unto him and besought him that he would come down and heal his son, for he was at the point of death.
Go ahead.
And Yahushua said unto him, except ye see signs and wonders, you will not believe.
Read verse 48 again.
Then said Yahushua unto him, except ye see signs.
So except you see signs and wonders, go ahead.
You will not believe.
You won't believe. So you looking for signs and wonders. That's the only way our people will believe. That's what's going on to this day. Our people want to see signs and wonders, then they will believe. Now go back to Exodus chapter 4. They want to see signs and wonders. But he knew he could have, because you have to understand, Yahushua was going around, healing people left and right. But when people had wicked minds and wicked mindset, he wouldn't do the miracles in front of them. You see what I'm saying? He's like, nah, you gotta have faith. But I'm gonna do it over here. So he's doing all this, and then he'll see the scribes and Pharisees running up, and they be like, oh, let me see a sign. You know how wicked Negroes they'll come running up. Hey, I heard you turn that water to wine. Let's see if you can do it again. Let's see that. Let's see you do this. Let's see you do that. You see what I'm saying? So they tempting him. Oh, you don't got that power, or you got that power from the left hand side. You got it from Satan. You see what I'm saying? So go back to Exodus chapter 4.
Exodus chapter 4, verse 9.
Read verse 10.
And Moses said unto Yahweh, O my Lord, I am not eloquent, neither heretofore, nor since thou hast spoken unto thy servant, but I am slow of speech and of slow tongue.
So not mean like he's like super dumb or anything. It's like he's not a very good public speaker. Like some brothers might be knowledgeable and have a lot of wisdom, but when it comes to like being out there in the street or telling people about the Most High, they're kind of shy. They can think about it, but when it comes out, it don't sound the same. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto him, who have made man's mouth? Or who maketh the dumb or deaf or the seeing or the blind? Have not I Yahweh?
So hold that, give me wisdom of Solomon. So this is, matter of fact, before you get that, give wisdom of Solomon first. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10. Because this is physically what he's talking about, dealing with. He made the blind, the deaf, the dumb. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 real quick. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10. Verse 21. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 verse 21.
For wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb.
Read that one more time.
For wisdom opened the mouth of the dumb.
For wisdom will open the mouth of the dumb. So somebody might not even be that smart or not even a well speaker, but once you receive this wisdom from this truth, you start sounding all smart. You start sounding like, man, Like that brother's intelligent. You see what I'm saying? I've seen it happen, you know, amongst brothers in this camp. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent.
Make the what?
Made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent.
You see that? Made them very intelligent. Because this wisdom, this knowledge, this understanding is surpass all other knowledge of the earth. So once you have this knowledge, you can go against or debate anybody with anything. You see what I'm saying? So go now give me Romans chapter 11. So this was talking about physically, this is about to be spiritually, because our people are spiritually blind. They spiritually deaf, which is worse than being physically deaf and physically blind. You see what I'm saying? Because a person that can't see, they still got those Bibles like when they show that, what's that movie with Denzel Washington? Eli. You see, he was still able to read that King James. He was still able to read that Bible, so he can still read it. And the Most High can open up his understanding. Or a person that is they can't hear, you see what I'm saying? They can see. You know what I mean? So go to Romans 11 and 7. They can still see that truth. So read that.
What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and have rest, and the rest were blinded.
So this is not a physically being blind, but this is spiritually being blind. The Lord hath blinded 2/3 of our people that they can't see the truth. Go ahead.
According as it is written, God hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see.
So they can see physically, but spiritually they can't even see this truth. Go ahead. Or they can't even see the signs around them. Go ahead. They think we got hundreds and hundreds of years and not in my lifetime. Go ahead.
And ears that they should not hear.
They can't even hear the truth
unto this day.
I mean, that's why they walk past. They actually have ears that they can hear Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj or they can hear other music and this stuff. But when it comes to this truth, they don't want to hear. That's why they walk past. Walk right past us like we ain't even there. And look right at us, act like they don't see us, like, you know what I mean? Like, usually a person with common sense, they'll see somebody teaching anything on the corner, everybody stop and be like, see, let's see what these brothers talking about. You know what I mean? But our people are spiritually blind. Go back to Exodus chapter 4.
Exodus 4 and 12.
Done.
Now therefore go, and I will be with thy mouth, and teach thee what thou shalt say.
See, the Most High is the one that give us that knowledge. It all comes from up above. Give me Proverbs chapter 3. Give me Proverbs chapter 3. Proverbs 3 verse 5. That's why it's important to do this, because you have Moses, you know, he up to like, Lord, I ain't that smart. You sure you want me? So that's what the Lord said, Proverbs 3 and 5.
Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart.
So he said, trust in the Most High. If the Most High tell you something, you better best believe he's dealing with you. Go ahead.
And let not
and lean
not unto thine own understanding.
That's what Moses is doing. He was like, I ain't that smart. You can't deal with me. Lean into your own understanding. Go ahead.
In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths.
So that's what you must do. Acknowledge the Most High and his power, and he's going to direct you. And that's why in Jeremiah 17:9 it says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can understand it? So when you're dealing with your mind, and your mind might say, I can't do this. Your mind might say, I'm not smart enough. But the Spirit of the Most High put in your spirit and give you that understanding. So go back to Exodus chapter 4.
Exodus 4 and 13.
Done.
And he said, O my Lord, send I pray thee by the hand of him whom thou wilt send. And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Moses.
So he's not having faith in himself. He's not believing in himself. Like you sure? You sure you want this? Go ahead. The Lord got angry with him. Read verse 14 again.
And the anger of Yahweh was kindled against Moses. And he said, Is not Aaron on the Levite? Is not Aaron the Levite thy brother? And know that he can speak well.
So he's like, go get your younger brother, Aaron. Go ahead.
And also, behold, he cometh forth to meet thee, and when he seeth thee, he will be glad in his heart.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt speak unto him, and put words in his mouth. And I will be with thy mouth, and with his mouth, and will teach you what ye shall do.
Go ahead.
And he shall be thy spokesman unto the people, and he shall be he shall be to thee instead of a mouth, instead a mouth, and thou shalt be to him instead of God. A God.
So it's pretty much Yahweh Shai was going to feed the word to Moses, and then Moses was going to feed it to Aaron, and Aaron's going to pass it down to the children of Israel. That's how it worked. Go ahead.
And thou shalt take his rod in thine hand, wherewith thou shalt do signs. And Moses went and returned to Jethro his father-in-law, and said unto him, Let me go, I pray thee, and return unto my brethren which are in Egypt, and see whether they be yet alive. And Jethro said to Moses, Go in peace.
So you got some brothers out there claiming to be Moses. To this day, you got brothers claiming to be Moses, claiming to be Paul, claiming to be damn King David, claiming to be the Messiah. So if you claim to be Moses, go get your staff, and I want to see some miracles. I want to see that serpent. I want to see that staff turn into a serpent. I want to see some water turn into blood. I want to see all type of. I want to see them 10 plagues he plagued Egypt with. I want you to do that same thing to America. If you Moses, that's how the Lord tells you. Many false prophets arise and deceive many. Because you have brothers that's claiming these people, and then you have people in their comment board like, really? Dang, I didn't know that. And they'll start following them. So give me go back or continue reading. Shall I get
19.
Done.
And Yahweh said unto Moses in Midian, Go return into Egypt, for all the men are dead which sought thy life. And Moses took his wife and his sons, and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Egypt, and Moses took the rod of God in his hand. And Yahweh said unto Moses, When thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thine hand. But I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
So the Lord is the one that hardened his heart. Go ahead.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, Thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
So just like he told Yahweh Shai he was his son's firstborn, that was Yahweh Shai actually is the firstborn of the first spirit that was created. That's why that's why he said that Yahweh Shai is his son. He's our big brother, but he was the first spirit that was created. That's what makes Yahweh Shai, or the world's called Jesus Christ, so special. Because he was the very first spirit that was created. Go ahead. And then the creation, then we all got created. And we was all there from the beginning. That's what he said, I knew you from the beginning. That's how deep it is. Before this earth was even created, he knew us. So we was already there in the spirit world. You see what I'm saying? Because everything in the spirit before it became flesh. So go ahead.
And I say unto thee, Let my son go, that he may serve me. And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
So give me Romans chapter 9. Romans 9, verse 14.
What shall we say then?
So Romans 9, hold on one second. Romans 9, verse 14 to 23.
What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? God forbid. For he saith to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion.
So we hear it all the time. We have brothers and sisters coming up while we out there teaching or on Facebook and saying, why y'all hate the white man, or why y'all do this? The Lord, not my God, my God won't do this, or because the Lord just said, He have compassion when we have compassion, He have mercy when we have mercy on. Go ahead.
So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God that showeth mercy.
It all comes from the Father. He does what He want to do. His thoughts are not our thoughts.
Right.
Go ahead.
For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, Even for this same purpose have I raised thee up.
So the Most High is the ones that set up kings. It tells you that in this book of Psalms. He the one that sets up kings and take them down. Go ahead.
That I might show my power in thee.
So He just showed His power. Because when we read the next chapter, the Pharaoh didn't know nothing about the God of the Hebrews. Go ahead.
And that my name might be declared throughout all the earth.
But once the Lord hit his butt with all those plagues, he definitely knew who the God of Hebrews was. Go ahead.
Therefore had he mercy on whom he will have mercy. And whom will he Whom he willed, he hardened
And
it.
that's what he did. He hardened Pharaoh's heart. That's why, because Pharaoh wanted to let him go. And then he was like, then the Lord hardened his heart. Like, and he's taking, oh, no, I ain't gonna let him go. That shows that the Lord, his will has to be done.
Right.
It's not our will. Our will can't be done on this earth. It's the Most High's will. He can make you change like this.
Right.
Go ahead.
That will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will?
Who's gonna resist his will? Whatever he tell you you're gonna do, you're gonna do it.
Right.
He's gonna make you do it. There ain't gonna be no, the Lord can't make me do nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against God? Shall the thing say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus?
So pretty much, how can you try to tell a person or tell the Most High, why do you love us and you hate them? Why you chose us and then choose them? How can you reply against the Most High that created you? Continue.
Have not the potter power over the clay
So the Most High is that potter, and we're that clay, right? Go ahead.
of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor?
So we all come from that lump. We all come from that dust, that clay. We all come from the dust of the ground, right? But of that one, the same lump, he made one vessel to what?
Unto honor,
So he made one vessel to honor. He chose one people, have respect to them. Go ahead.
and another unto
And these
dishonor.
other people that's not Israel, they dishonor. He made them in vain. They're worthless. He don't even consider them a people. He said that they're less than nothing, right? Go ahead.
What if God, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction?
And that's what they are. He set up Pharaoh, showed his power, and it was fitted to destruction. He put Esau took Esau from out the caves, put him up in a great seat, and but he's fit for destruction. His end is destruction.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy,
Oh, to the vessels of what?
unto the vessels of mercy,
So the vessel that he made to honor, he gave them mercy. Go ahead.
which he had afore prepared unto glory.
But the vessel he had for dishonor, he set for destruction. Now go back to Exodus chapter 4. That's deep what Paul just said. To the Spirit of the Most High. He letting them know, Lord, the Lord don't care about everybody. So go back to Matter of fact, go to Isaiah 55. Slakia. Isaiah 55. So that's why our people, we definitely got to get that spirit off the book. Isaiah 55, verse 8. Isaiah 55, verse 8 and 9.
For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
So just because we might, I won't say us in here, but Israel might feel like it's cruel to hate the other nations, or not to deal with the other nations, or not allow them to come into the congregation. But the Most High, he don't think that way.
Right.
And the way we're thinking like the Most High, because he said he hated Esau. So we hate what our father hates. You see what I'm saying? Because we trying to be like our father. We want to like the things he liked and dislike the things he liked. So go back to Exodus chapter 4. They claiming to be brothers are claiming to be in the truth, but don't have the spirit of their father. They say, "Oh, you got too much hate in you." The scriptures clearly said, "Be ye angry, but sin not." That's right. And like we're going around just because we say we hate, ain't no way we're going around slaying people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's really showing showing hate. Just like when we show love, we do something about it. We keep His commandments. So when you show you a hate group, we ain't going around doing hateful things or killing people and stuff. That's how you show hate. Just saying you hate somebody, that ain't no hate. That's just words. So go back to Exodus chapter 4 and read verse 24.
And it came to pass,
Or read verse 23 again, Slakia.
and I say unto thee, let my son go,
Slakia, 22. Yeah, read verse 22.
and thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
So he's telling them, let them know Israel is my son, my firstborn, right? Read verse 23.
And I say unto thee, let my son go, that he may serve me.
So he's telling them, you better let Pharaoh go so he can serve him, right? Go ahead.
And if thou refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay thy son, even thy firstborn.
Go ahead.
And it came to pass by the way in the end.
Meaning the end, meaning like the lodge, like where people go and rest their head, right? Go ahead.
That Yahweh met him and sought to kill him.
So he's ready to kill Moses. Go ahead.
Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son, and cast it at his feet, and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me.
Go ahead.
So he let him go. Then she said, a bloody husband thou art because of the circumcision.
Because of what?
Because of the circumcision.
Give me Genesis 17, and then we're going to get the understanding about what they talking about. Why was the Lord ready to kill Moses? Genesis 17, verse 10 through 14. Why was he getting ready to kill Moses? He was about to meet him about before he hit the door, about to slay Moses. So Genesis 17, verse 10 through 14.
This is my covenant which ye shall keep between me and you and thy seed after thee. Every man child.
Every what?
Every man child.
Go ahead.
Among you shall be circumcised.
Shall be what?
Shall be circumcised. And ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin.
Go ahead.
And it shall be a token of the covenant betwixt me and you.
Continue.
And he that is 8 days old,
go ahead,
shall be circumcised among you.
So the doctors in the States, they do it right away. Supposed to wait till the 8 days. Go ahead.
Every man child in your generations, he that is born in the house or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. He that is born in thine house, and he that is besought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant.
For how long?
For an everlasting covenant.
And continue.
And the uncircumcised.
Check this out. And the what?
And the uncircumcised man, whose man-child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised.
Go ahead.
That soul shall be cut off from his people.
Go ahead.
He hath broken my covenant.
So let's go back and get understanding now. Exodus chapter 4, start at verse 21. So why was he about to kill Moses? Let's see.
And Yahweh said unto Moses, when thou goest to return into Egypt, see that thou do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in thy hand. I will harden his heart, that he shall not let the people go.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahweh, Israel is my son.
So this is what you're supposed to tell Pharaoh, right? Go ahead.
Even my firstborn. And I say unto thee.
Wait. Read that part again. Verse 23. So the Lord to Moses what to tell Pharaoh, right? Go ahead.
And I say unto thee.
And I say unto thee. Now this is the Lord talking to Moses. Go ahead.
Let my son go.
Talk about let my son go, meaning Moses' son. Go ahead.
That he may serve me.
That he may serve me, right? Go. Thou will
play thy firstborn.
Why? Because you in order to serve, telling him you put Moses do.
That Yah sought to kill.
He went to go late holiday in. He went to Moses' wife do. Read verse 25.
Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me.
Why she said that? Because if her son would have died, if Moses' son would have died, guess what? That blood would have been on Moses. Right. Read verse 25 again.
Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin.
She circumcised him, right? She circumcised him because she let him know, hold on. The Lord's ready to kill my son. Let me help her circumcise him. Go ahead.
Of her son, and cast it at his feet, and said, surely a bloody husband art thou to me.
Go ahead.
So he let him go.
He let him go. So he allowed him to live, right? Go ahead.
Then she said, a bloody husband thou art.
Why? Why did she say that?
Because of the circumcision.
Because of the circumcision. You was ready to get our son put to death because you didn't want to circumcise him? That's what she was saying. Told her I'd go do it. Boom. You see how deep that is? Go ahead. That's what them precepts is good to put that precept. Because when I first read it, I was like, what are they talking about? You know what I mean? When you just read it, you're like, why are you Lord about to kill Moses for? I ain't really, but then the precepts, when the precepts start to understand, then you get that understanding. So continue on that.
And Yahweh said to Aaron, go into the wilderness to meet Moses. And he went. And he met him in the mount of God and kissed him.
Hold that, give me Romans 16:16. Romans chapter 16, verse 16. So every man child is supposed to be circumcised. So brothers that's not circumcised, man, you go get circumcised, and when you older, boy, that's gonna be some pain.
Yeah, yeah.
Man. Man, some brothers out there like, man, I might just go get hit with a missile. Read that. Romans 16:16.
Salute one another with an holy kiss. The churches of Christ.
Oh, that's on that. So, when go back to Exodus chapter 4. So when the Lord, or when Moses met, or Aaron met his brother and kissed him, it wasn't no damn, like, people try to say, if they was homosexual, Aaron was homosexual, he kissed his brother. No, you see how the Muslims, they go and do like a side thing, That's what we did. We showed that brotherly love. It wasn't no homosexual thing that what these brothers is talking about. And most of the brothers that say it was a damn Egyptology. And you see how they dress and they acting, bunch of homos. So go back, read verse 28 now.
And Moses told Aaron all the words of Yahweh who had sent him, and all the signs which he had commanded him. And Moses and Aaron went and gathered together all the elders of the children of Israel. And Aaron spake all the words which Yahweh had spoken unto Moses, and did the signs in the sight of the people. And the people believed, and when they heard that Yahweh had visited the children of Israel, and that he had looked upon their affliction, then they bowed their heads and worshipped.